All right, fans, here we are. Another year, another regional tournament, another regional preview. Joined as always, or this is Glenn. Is this year one or is this the second time we're joining up for the regional preview?
Yeah, it might be it's definitely the second time. Might even been the third time actually. I mean, after last year with the COVID skip, I don't know, but it's
Yeah,
definitely
no,
the second time for sure.
yeah. So we're gonna, we're gonna wrap. We're gonna talk a little bit right now about postseason in general, and then we're gonna get into previewing weight class by weight class. The brackets that you see up on the screen or the about to see up on the screen are um the
They're the
uh,
latest brackets. They're
yes,
hot
there.
off the
Well,
press.
I have two windows open right now. But one is with the originals, and I'm gonna flip over the other one with where the changes happen. So I'm gonna share my picks. Glenn will then chat and interject whether he agrees or disagrees with what I have down on the screen. He's done his brackets and just agreed that we'd share my screen and we go off that as our launch point. Glenn, like first things first, like Glenn, I got to ask you, and we already talked off camera a little bit. Thoughts on postseason up to this point? Thoughts on the seeded bracket at regionals? I think we got to identify. And we got to talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the thing a lot of people are talking about, and there's a lot of chatter. Give me your thoughts on it, and then obviously I'll give you what I think on the process.
All right. Well, first of all, yes, I am down on the Chesapeake here, close to Oxford in Northeast Maryland. So got here early. Figured I'd enjoy a couple days in the sun at my sister's place. But anyway, there's no boats on the water. Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. The seeding's been changed to seed this bracket almost in its entirety. I think that it's a good system. I believe that we will always get this thing right. But as we talked off camera, it looks like there are some, big bouts that are going to occur, not only in the preliminaries, Joe, but in the quarterfinals. And you see this at states a lot. And you're going to see it at regionals this year in the Southeastern region. Two reasons. One, this is a 16-man bracket. You have to seed the top, 8 kids. You have to get them right, Joe. You have to get those top 4 for sure. But you got to get the top 8 right. I think that's always been the deal with the formulas. So the formulas don't work anymore. We've seeded the bracket in its entirety. And this year it's a little screwed up because you have kids that didn't have a lot of matches last year. And there's some other things, that are factoring in. We've seen a little chat about it on the forum. I think there was very little discussion with the coaches. I mean, the committee was pretty solid and committed to this. I hope that they're going to stick with it. We might need to make some tweaks, which is fine. But Mike's done a great job of getting this all together. So I know there's some concerns that you wanted to talk about. So throw them out there.
Yeah, no, I agree, Glenn. I think this is the way it's going to go. I think the process from here on out will be right. And this is no one's fault. Like you said, I just don't think this was the year to implement this because of lack of postseason for some of the athletes and some of the wrestlers. Like it's just some kids were punished. Look at ones that come to mind, like glaring to come to mind, Quinn Smith. Like he's going to come out. He's going to see Ken Hershey in the quarterfinals if he wins. You look at others that off the top of
That
my
could
head.
very well have been a finals match right there.
Correct. Yeah, one of the top 2 guys, top 2 to top 3 guys ranked in that region, and they're going to hit in that quarterfinal. I mean, like that. That's the one that just comes out, and really a lot of people kind of shake their or scratch their head at. It's in theory, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna work itself out next year. And again, there's some growing pains with any change you have. So like, I'm glad we've gone to this. I'm more concerned with, just getting guys on the mat, and getting them wrestling, and getting guys to Hershey, and getting guys, obviously, and always on the podium at Hershey. I think that's
Yeah.
priority 1 for us.
That's always been the key is to put the kids in the best position, our best kids in the best position to get to Hershey. One of the other things is that more so, I heard more chatter about from coaches and people close to the sport not wanting kids from the same district going at it out of the gate, especially the 1 and the 2s, because I believe that occurred somewhere else in the brackets. I forget which weight class, but that's there as well. That's no longer a factor. I mean, the bottom line here is, this needs to be a seeded event, a seeded tournament, and that's going to happen. You're going to have kids, you're going to have kids that just wrestled last weekend right out of the gate in the prelims. So I think that was the original chatter. So maybe we're kind of feeling a little bit more anxious about it than others. So we'll find out. Obviously, when we'll be there, we'll hear the chatter on all that. But I think it's, you got to get through the bracket one way or the other. So if you're going to have a toughie out of the gate or one in the quarters, you're going to have to wrestle back in the wrestle backs, and we've seen it happen where kids get upset and they come back and wrestle back. So let's stick to the old mantra that the best kids are going to wrestle through the bracket no matter how it's laid out. I know there was some concern up in District 11. You've probably read about that. Brad Wilson had it out there. It was a disgrace, in his words, where we had some issues with state champs and actually 2 of the best kids in the country, I think. So, a lot about that, but let's see how it plays out before we judge.
Yeah, definitely. As we get started here, we're going to jump right into 106. We're going to talk about, who our picks are there. One of the things that, it's going to come up, Glenn, in a lot of conversations tonight. I think we may as well address as well. Like this is the part of the season where, you really get to see like who's prepared coming into postseason, who's been tested. You can get by in a sense with getting 2 regionals, but when it comes down to getting in that top 5 and going to states, a lot of it's dependent upon just a little bit of luck and what your preparation is going into it. So again, might come up that, we talk about some kids who've been a little bit more battle tested than others and have wrestled tougher schedules. And, that's just a reality. That's not a knock on anyone. If your team goes out and wrestles the best competition, you're probably a little bit more prepared for the rigors of the regional tournament than you are if you're not wrestling top competition. At least on a somewhat regular basis throughout the season.
Yeah, we talked about this in our preview show at the beginning of the year. I mean, I have 2 factors in the postseason I look at. Number 1 is, can a kid keep turning it up a notch? Okay, because districts, some guys cruise right through there. Now we're at regionals. You got to be able to crank it up. You have to go to another level. You're going to see district champs from 3 other districts, but you're going to see kids you have not wrestled, kids that are at a higher level. So you're going to have to turn it up. That's number 1. Number 2 is the kids that have already been at a higher level throughout the season are at an advantage because they have been in these positions in either a final or a semifinal or a consi semifinal when it means something in a big tournament against high level competition. Those kids have the advantage. So that's just fact. But those are the 2 biggest things I look at. And I went through some of these brackets. I threw in some upsets in the prelims just for kind of, giggles. But the reality is that the battle tested kids are going to get through the first couple of rounds, and then everyone has to dig deep and turn it up a notch. So I'm telling you, the District 1 Southeast region this year is going to bring home a lot of medals. I mean, this is a real deal region. I think there's a lot of excitement. So let's get right into it, Joe. Open that bracket up.
All right, here we go. Let's scroll down and start 106. 106, we have, talented freshman from Counts Rock North, Aaron Semmett, the 1 seed. I think this is a collision course between him and Cole McFarland. It's going to be, you guys can see the cat up behind me there. He wants to get on screen. But anyway, Aaron Semmett from Rock North is who I'm going with here to make be our regional champ at 106 pounds. Glenn, I think he does, like I said, faces Cole McFarland in the finals. I've been real impressed with McFarland, the level he's been able to wrestle at. He seems to be able to turn and pin just about everyone he wrestles. We look at this first round. There's no real, the biggest match in that first round, if I had to look, would be McFarland Martinelli. But I think McFarland's going to be just a little bit too much for him. I think it's going to be a bigger body. Coming down from 113, wrestled as high as 120 this year. Martinelli's, He I don't think he struggles too much to make 6. And I think that's probably your best match in that first round. and then after that, the quarterfinals are gonna be some good matches. I think. You look at I think Siegel will hang with McFarland for a little bit, but he's just so tough on top. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. His ability to turn guys from top is going to be a difference that's going to propel him to the finals. I think Semit's a little bit too slick for him in the finals. Again, as always, you and I have been wrong on many occasions, but I got to go with Semit. I think he's wrestled a tougher schedule up to this point, and he's proven it time and time again that he's when the lights are on, he's on.
Yeah, I got a good chance to see Cole McFarland this past weekend at Interborough. I was very impressed with his work ethic. So he definitely can turn it up a notch. I'm not worried about that. But I do agree with you. I have it pretty much the same way, Aaron Cement winning this final at 106 and, actually getting high on the podium at States as well. Yeah. So I totally agree. Of course, I have one match that I have to point out. I have Ryan Allgaier taking out Cole Haynes. They wrestled earlier in the season. I think it was a 2-1 win by Haynes. So I'm going to go with the turn there with the Hatter. But so that's
I
about.
think we all saw that one coming a mile away.
You can't. You have to just pencil that man for me.
Yeah,
all right,
no.
So
let's
go. Let's drop down.
Yeah, I want to drop down because there's some intriguing matches that are going to happen in the bottom half of this bracket. And as we turn our attention down to there,
actually before you drop down, go back up to the Team McCormack has dropped down. Team McCormack has dropped down to 106 for good. I guess a while back, right before leagues, I didn't even know it was happening. And he came down, and he is impressed at that weight class. And this Curtis Nelson is slick. He's a good wrestler. He's solid, great athlete. And he gave McFarland some fits during the match in the finals. But Pete McCormack can wrestle his way to state at 106, and that's he's in a good spot if he can take out Nelson right there and put himself in that position to come down. So that I just wanted to mention that he's hot and he's at a good weight class.
No, agreed. McCormack, and from what I've been told, really came down and doesn't have a whole lot of trouble making it either. And he's just a big body, a lot of leverage, and lanky guy that he gets on top and he's tough there in that position. And again, for him, I think it's in years past, seen him as just finishing matches. Is he able to finish these matches now? He's a senior. Like, this is like his time. And the last go round for this, and I hope he lets it fly this weekend and does his thing. And as we drop down, we talk about it. I'm in the same boat. I'm kind of high on him as well. I look at this bracket here, and you look at those first round guys that come over. You can see my cursor. I have Martinelli coming out of that first round constellations, beating Nelson, and then losing to Gus Smith. Like, Gus Smith, we go back up the top. Gus Smith, he loses in that quarterfinal. He drops down, and I have Carr beating Algier from Hatboro in that OJR Hatboro matchup. Glenn, Allgaier. My apologies. Quinn Carr really coming on late as of late. Wrestled really well in the District North tournament. He wins, and Gus Smith is just too much. He's not there yet to go with the likes of Gus Smith. But Smith,
that Martinelli Smith match, that's going to be a biggie. I think
match. Smith wins it. It. I like Siegel from Downtown West to beat Haynes in a rematch. But then I think McCormack does it. I think McCormack beats Ryder too. I got McCormack finishing third here. I think this is his
McCormack
time.
Has some. He's got some revenge factor with him. They've gone at it over the years. So if he gets there, I agree. I think that McCormack steps it up and gets it done. You just go back to that Martinelli Smith match. They are very similar in body types, in size and stature. They're both strong little guys, and they are going to let it fly. It's going to that'll be a very exciting match because that really is a state medal match for those guys to get there. You know what I mean? That's a big match for them to advance. I mean, they have to get to that next bout. So that'll be a good one. Circle that one if it happens. And again, Siegel, way too much for Haynes. And then you come back down below, and I go with Smith as well at that point if he's there.
Yeah, no,
for that fifth
and
spot.
we look at this grouping here. We have Sement is a freshman, McFarland's a sophomore. What I have with McCormick senior, sure, Ryder sophomore, Smith and Siegel both freshmen. Glenn, like we're
Yeah,
talking of the top six, five are coming back next year, and these
yeah,
aren't like
it's it.
these aren't guys. These are guys who are going to battle out. And then you have the likes of, and again, if these hold, I mean, these are just our predictions. You got the likes of Martinelli, Haynes. They're both young, sophomore, freshmen. They're, Quinn Carr, freshman. You start working your way back that bracket. Algier is a freshman, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. I mean,
this
it's a
well,
nice
this
grouping.
it is. So this one was one of the more fun ones to go through because there's a lot of ways it could have went. You get that Conti quarterfinal, Martinelli, Haynes, they could very easily be advanced. They could very easily advance there. But I think we're kind of on the same page with the top six.
Yeah, unless there's a bracket buster early, like in the quarterfinals, it's going to probably play out this way. So we'll see what happens. Hey, that's why we go to regionals, man. That's why we wrestle it out.